What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with Mock Draft Monday. There are 2 Mondays left before we get to the NFL draft. So here's what we're going to do. This week is going to be a what I would do mock draft. So if you don't like it, go scratch. And next week is going to be a predictive mock draft of what I think the New York Jets are going to do. Now, for the last 2, I will not be using a simulator because if, God forbid, I logged on and did a simulator and it's like, well, whoever that I'm not gonna spoil who's going first in this mock draft, but let's say I got a bad sim, not good. So instead, I'm just gonna give you the list. We'll go through and react to each one. Okay, round 1, pick 7. Tyler Warren out of Penn State would be my pick at pick number 7. I know there's the debate between Tyler Warren, Armand Membu, yada, yada, yada. I'm good if they take Armand Membu, but for Tyler Warren, why I would take him, he's the best tight end in the class. The Jets desperately need a starter at that position. They don't have anyone that's been more than like a tight end 2 at best on the roster. He's versatile, good blocker, can line up as an inline tight end or a big slot, good yards after the catch. He had passing and rushing touchdown this year, so he's a really unique player that you could use in the red zone and wildcat and tush push. And I just think he would really impact this New York Jets offense and probably be number 2 in receptions this year to Garrett Wilson. Yes, this is a deep tight end class, but the further you go in the draft, the less likely you are to hit on a position. So to those who are like, well, wait till round 3. Okay, well, you might end up with a Jeremy Ruckert in round 3. You might end up with a Jason Morrow in round 2. I personally think Tyler Warren's the best tight end in the class, and I am not willing to forego that to take a flyer on a round 2 or round 3 guy, in my own personal opinion. But I'm good with this pick. Jets get a very unique weapon at the top of the draft. Okay, round 2, trade. I have the New York Jets trading back. I know that we've talked a lot about this at the potential of trading out of pick 7. I don't think it's crazy likely, but I have the New York Jets trading down in the 2nd round, which is something we haven't really explored. So the Jets send pick 42 to Seattle for pick 52 and 92, a pick the Jets originally had from a trade down a year ago with the Detroit Lions. Jets then trade that pick for Devontae Adams. Raiders then trade that pick to the Seahawks for Geno Smith. That's how it ends up in Seattle, but once was a Jets pick. So now with pick 52, I'm going to take wide receiver Jack Besh out of TCU, 6'1", 214. He's a good ball tracker on deep passes. He's someone who kind of finds the soft spots of zones and sit down and kind of just finds a way to get open and makes catches. He's a physical receiver. He doesn't have great speed. He ran in the 4.5s. Like that was going to be my note is if you're looking for a burner or like this truly, truly elite route runner, that's not necessarily Jack Besh's game, but just gets open and is reliable. I think he projects as a top end number 2 receiver, best case scenario. And I think he would immediately be the Jets' 2nd best wide receiver behind Garrett Wilson in this offense. Okay, to round 3 we go. Pick 73, Ozzie Trapilo, offensive tackle out of Boston College. Massive frame. He is a big boy. Good size, long arms. At times he can get a little too tall. Needs to lower his pad level, and his height is a big reason for that. But this is a player who I think can start from day 1 at right tackle in round 3. He's played right tackle at Boston College. I thought he was impressive. You have him come in and compete with Chuck Okorafor for that starting right tackle spot. I think Trapilo could beat out and likely would beat out a guy like Okorafor, but at least you have that veteran who has the starting experience who could sit behind Trapilo. And if, God forbid, like the guy's just in over his head, well, then you have the veteran who has the starting experience behind him. Okay, with pick 92 in the trade down scenario, the pick that we scooped up, Jordan Phillips, interior defensive line out of Maryland, 6'2", 312. He's young. He's just 20 years old, but he made Bruce Feldman's freak list. He's a former wrestler, which really helps him out in the leverage game. He's a little bit raw, which is why I think he's going to be like a 3rd rounder and not anything higher than that. But I think he's worth a late 3rd round swing. The guy's an absolute freak. And if it hits, it's going to be pretty and it's going to look really good. The Jets added a bunch of depth on the interior defensive line in free agency. I think they need to add someone else who could, maybe have a little bit more upside. And Phillips is that guy for me. So I personally, I love this pick for the New York Jets. Round 4, pick 110, Jonas Anchor. You've heard me talk about him a lot. He's got really good speed for a safety. 4.48 40-yard dash is impressive for him. He's physical, can come down and make plays towards the line of scrimmage. He can compete for the starting strong safety job, in my opinion. He's good on specials. So I think he's someone who would play a role pretty much immediately as a round 4 player. Round 5, pick 145, Jackson Hawes, tight end out of Georgia Tech. Run blocking, physical tight end. You see what hat I'm wearing? Run the damn ball. Run the football. The Jets need an identity, and Jackson Hawes helps the Jets get to that identity. We talked about the weakness of the tight end spot, drafting a playmaker like Tyler Warren and then adding a absolutely nasty physical blocker like Jackson Hawes, who could also be a special teams guy for you on day 3. Home run, in my opinion. All right, round 5, pick 162. I'm going to take Danny Stutzman, linebacker out of Oklahoma. He's not great in coverage, going to be completely honest with you, but he is a thumping downhill linebacker. If the Jets need help against the run, they haven't been great. So this is an potential early down linebacker and special teams player would be my guess. Maybe the coverage can develop a little bit, but the Jets made their choice with Jamie Sherwood, signing him to a long-term contract extension. Quincy Williams is entering the final year of his deal. They might need someone to develop for a year or so behind these guys. So if Quincy Williams does walk at the end of the year, maybe the Jets are already ready for that. Round 6, pick 186, Donta Thornton, wide receiver out of Tennessee. He's big, 6'5", 214, 4.3 40-yard dash. So for someone at that size to run that fast, honestly, really impressive. To me, that says deep threat. Question mark. Now, this is a 6th rounder, so, I'm not saying, oh my God, this guy's going to be amazing, but can he be a just unique kind of deep threat player? Not a crazy amount of targets, but I don't know, like your 5th option as a wide receiver with some upside. I think it's worth a swing in the 6th round. And then my last pick of the draft, I'm taking Ryan Fitzgerald, kicker out of FSU. Did not miss a single field goal in 2024. Draft him and you will have your kicker for the next 10 years, in my opinion. I know some people are very against drafting kicker. They say it's a waste of a day 3 pick. It's a 6th rounder. I'm not saying you do this every single year, but the Jets desperately need a kicker. I am not okay with completely just running it back with Greg Zuerlein from last year, who was horrible. Just this once, use it on a kicker. I think he would be the long-term answer. I have a lot of faith in him. So this is something that I would be okay with for the New York Jets in 2025. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on this mock draft. Here's how I would approach it if I'm the New York Jets GM. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.